Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit Take2Radio.com.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host. Hope everybody is doing well. Joining me as my co-host tonight is David. We were supposed to have two other co-hosts tonight, but it happens to be one of those weeks where both of them weren't feeling well. So we're going to pray that they feel better, this upcoming week. So, David, how are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. And how about yourself?
Live and breathe and walk and talk, and isn't that all we can ask for?
That's about it, yeah.
Well, I would say our guest is doing pretty well, and we have the pleasure tonight of speaking with actor Kevin L. Johnson, who recently had a major role in the Netflix original series Ozark as Sam Dermody. And Sam owns Dermody Realty and works with Wendy Byrd, played by Laura Linney, and Wendy's husband is played by Jason Bateman. And I'm not going to talk about that a lot. I'm going to wait until he gets on the phone. But I also wanted to say he's also been in many other television shows, the movie Careful What You Wish For, opposite Nick Jonas. And I can hear some little teenage girls in the background screaming right now. And most recently in the upcoming movie American Made with Tom Cruise. So welcome, Kevin. You have lots to talk about.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. We know you're really, really busy. And that's a good thing, right?
Oh, yeah, in this business, yes.
Yeah. So, did you work today, or was today a day off?
Today was a day off.
Good. You got to enjoy the summer while it's around. Although if you're on the West Coast, you have summer all year long, so it doesn't matter. Unlike us Midwesterners and David being in New York,
Mm-hmm.
Well, the weather's been kind of in Georgia. Mother Nature doesn't want to make up her mind, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is kind of strange this year because usually, July, August, we're in the 90s with 90% humidity, and we've had 70s and 80s, and it's just, it's been nice. I'm not complaining, but it's just been strange. So, anyways, let's get back to you and tell us a little bit about growing up. Did you get the bug early, or did that come later in life when you knew you wanted to be an actor?
It actually came in college. I grew up in Lake Wylie, South Carolina, which is near Charlotte, and I went to Clover High School, and I played at high school. That was my main focus before I went to college, and then went to college as computer science. I thought I wanted, to make video games because I was big into video games when I was growing up. So
yeah.
And I realized that there was quite a bit of math involved, and math wasn't really my strong suit. So I switched majors, changed to English, and started taking some acting classes, doing some auditions for some plays, just to try something new, and fell in love with it.
What was your first role in school? What play did you do?
I was in a musical called Burial at Thebes, and it was based on the Greek tragedy Antigone. And I had the one part. I think there was maybe a couple other parts that weren't singing parts, and I had one of those. I played. I think it was just guard because I bring Antigone in to King Creon. If you've heard of the Greek tragedy that I'm talking about?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I haven't watched or read it or anything, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, so this was just a musical version of it, because Greek tragedies can be pretty grim and
dark,
kind of
yeah.
a watch on stage because they can get kind of boring.
Right. Well, I take it then you don't sing.
Actually, the funny thing is I didn't realize I could sing until like maybe my junior or senior year at college, and the big musical of the year was Urinetown, which is it's a comedy musical, kind of a play on Les Mis, but you have to pay to. So it's called Urinetown, like literally urine. And
yeah, I've seen that name, that title.
And it's a fun little play. And I auditioned for the main guy, Bobby Strong, I think was the character's name. And I got a call back. But what was funny is I didn't think I could sing, right? So I checked out the soundtrack to Urinetown and decided to give it a go because I was thinking, oh, well, this is the big play of the year. Let's see if, who knows, maybe I can sing. I don't know. And I found a room at the theater department where people practice, and I just started singing some of the lyrics, and I was like, oh, man, that actually doesn't sound half bad. Like, I didn't know where it came from, and, yeah, it was crazy. But I guess it's not a huge shock because my mom was a country singer when she was a kid. So, yeah, so I probably get I get my twang from my mom for sure.
Yeah. I love country music, but I love all music too. So
yeah,
that's great. That's great that you discovered that you could sing though, because that gives you a chance at more roles.
Oh yeah, I did I also played Willy Wonka at a local community theater in Clemson. So that was cool. That was my first big, part in a musical because I got to play Willy Wonka. So that was
right.
Really cool.
Right, and who doesn't want to play Willy Wonka?
Right.
I think every kid in America,
I wanted to.
Definitely. Well, did you take any singing lessons after that, or that's it? You were done. You knew you could sing, and you went forward with it.
I did take private singing lessons. For maybe like a semester, like a half semester in college. I met up with a guy and, like every other day, and we would practice because I didn't know anything about notes or anything. So that was all, because I was pretty raw when it came to singing.
Right, yeah. Especially, discovering that later in life. And you really probably didn't even pay attention. You were probably just like the rest of us where you sing in the shower or in the car or, that's it, no matter what you sound like.
You try to match who you're singing like, and it sounds great because you can hear them singing and you singing. So obviously it sounds good, but you don't know until somebody actually says something.
Oh, yeah. Like when my husband gives me a look in the car to shut up, I know I'm not that good. And then I'll just tell him, shut up, Dave. I like singing. I'm off key. I just love it. So that's it. Get used to it. It's been 25 years. Come on, give me a break. You
can't help it when the music's on and it's a song that you like. You got to play backup, It's just, you can't help it.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
So what was your favorite genre of movies when you were growing up, or television shows that you might like to have been on?
Well, when I was younger, for some reason I was big into movies that were cartoons, but then they turned it into a live action kind of thing. So, of course, I was excited when they turned Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into a live action. See what else? I can't place any others off the top of my head. Like as a kid.
Who was your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Yeah, blue was my favorite color growing up. Even though I was a Clemson fan, I think it was Michelangelo that wore orange. That should have been my favorite, but Leo was the leader of the group, and I always looked up to that.
Yeah, well, I have 3 boys and a girl, so we had a lot of Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff in this house, let me tell you. A lot. And now I have a couple of G-sons, as I call them, and they're actually into that too. So, any of the leftover toys that were still in decent condition from my kids, they get to play with. Plus, of course, they get new stuff. But that's pretty cool. Well, you never know. One day maybe you can play in one of the movies if they make another one. With all the remakes coming about and old TV shows and stuff like that, it just might happen one day.
They're rebooting everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy about it if they stick to what brought us to love them in the first place.
Yeah.
But if they, don't do that, then it's going to be a failure. Like I'm looking forward to Will and Grace. I absolutely love that show. And I'm so happy that all the actors are coming back. So, and Roseanne's coming back, and I don't know, there's just so many of them. But
I'm excited.
You're excited about what?
I'm excited about Roseanne. I don't know how they're going to do that, though. I'm curious to see how they're going to, untangle that web that they created in the episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff they got to take out,
Yep, exactly.
And completely ignore or say, hey, she did this because this was all a dream or something. But I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's not a whole lot that you can do to come back from that other than to say it was a dream. And, I mean, we've seen that how many times, like when Who Shot JR on Dallas? It turned out to be a dream. Yeah. So,
Art.
I remember that growing up. My mom was a huge Dallas fan. Yep.
Oh, wow. Well, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm looking forward to it. Up until this point, which role was your favorite, either on television or in a movie, and why?
Can I include Ozark, or is that before Ozark?
No, you can include Ozark.
Oh, I would definitely say Ozark then.
Yeah, I could see why. I mean, Ozark, I am totally addicted. It's just, if there's not a season 2, I'm going to have to start a petition or something, and I think we'd have a lot of signatures on that.
Well,
because it's just off the chain.
I got good news for you, Pam.
What?
They officially announced season 2 today. So.
You got to be kidding me! Oh my God! Oh, thank you. That is wonderful news.
Later day.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Yes, it's been a great ride for sure.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. And you know what was really awesome is that they put the total first season out for you to watch instead of just one episode and waiting, a few weeks or another month and then watching another episode. Even though, you enjoyed the first episode, you might think, when the next episode comes up because some time has passed, well, I'll watch it later. But when you can sit there and binge watch the whole first season, it really sticks in your head. And, when you fall in love with it like I did and like David did, you just cannot wait. You're drooling at that point for season 2.
I think that's a great thing. That's one of the good things about binge watching is I've noticed if you if you watch like 5 episodes one day and then 5 episodes the next day and you're done, you get really invested in the characters,
Exactly.
And because you're watching it constantly in a row and you just get so invested.
Exactly. exactly.
Mhm.
And I've heard a lot of people comparing it to Breaking Bad. Now, Breaking Bad is not one TV show that I've watched, but do you know the similarities? Can you see what they're talking about?
Well, I binge watched Breaking Bad because everybody was like, "Hey, you got to watch the show," and I was like, "Okay, all right, I'll give it a shot." Everybody likes it, and loved it, and it was awesome. I can see the similarities in, there's drugs and it's drug related. You got a lead actor who did comedic stuff back in the day. Like, Bryan Cranston used to be a comedic actor, and now he's more of a dramatic actor. So I can see that similarity. The big difference is that Marty has already broken bad, so he's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Walter, he kind of gradually got there. So that's a big difference for sure. And the whole family knows everything in Ozark. So you got the family dynamic, knowing the stuff that's already going on, and it's not a secret to them. Whereas Breaking Bad took seasons, I think, for them to realize that Walter's up.
Well, there's so many things I would love to discuss about Ozark, but I don't want to give too much away because there's listeners out there that haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
And they need to get on it. Seriously, they need to get on it. Go to Netflix, people. Anybody that's listening that hasn't watched it, go to Netflix and watch it. There's 10 episodes for season 1, and you're going to love it. So when does the filming start for season 2?
That I don't know yet. I just know that the only thing I can say right now is that it's renewed. I gotta stay mum.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking then we probably won't get season 2 until maybe early next year or something. But that's all right. We have something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Now, when you auditioned for the role, did you know anything about the series, or your character, or was it like a blind audition?
Oh yeah, they gave me a breakdown, and I still remember it actually because I was jogging and I had my phone on me and I looked down and I see I got this audition for Sam Dermody for this new show Ozark starring Jason Bateman, and it gave me kind of the breakdown of the guy, and I was thinking, okay, this guy's in my wheelhouse. I can play this. So I filmed it and, kept it as real as possible because I saw this guy as a good guy, as, a little naive, has some quirks. I got some quirks. So,
Yeah.
it was right up. It was right up my wheelhouse, and I felt really good about it. And some weeks went by, and I didn't hear anything. And then I was with my manager, Laureen, from RCM Talent. She's awesome, by the way. And she found out from the casting directors, they're looking for somebody older. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. So I thought I didn't get the role. And I'm driving to Charlotte one day for an audition for a short film. And I get a call from my agent, Rusty, at ARA Talent. And he was like, hey, so they want to book you for Ozark. And I was like, really? And I felt like I had to pull the car over. I didn't do it, but I almost did because I was pretty excited. And so I mean, you just never know when that big role is going to come along, and if somebody turned it down and they came to me because I was second. I mean, I have no clue, but it's been a game changer. It's been awesome, and it's been very exciting.
I can imagine. I think this thing is going to take off like a bandit, so you're in the right place at the right time and have the talent to back you up on it. So that's a good thing. Now, one thing I have to say is Sam was definitely a mama's boy in the beginning, but that pretty much changed when Wendy entered your life. But there's a couple of things that stand out to me. When hearing your mother say the dog licks peanut butter off your feet, I about died. She's sitting there ranting, and then she says that one line out of all the things that you do. Now, did you have to do more than one take after she said that, or did it just go through? Because it was just too funny.
Well, we definitely had to do. We definitely had to do more than one take, but I didn't crack actually, because I knew the line and everything, and I got to a point. I got to a place where I needed to be in the scene, so to speak. So I was in the moment, and I didn't crack. But it is a funny line.
Oh my gosh, it is. It is because you don't expect it. I mean,
not from her.
Well, yeah, not from her, and because of the premise of the movie, it's not really a comedy. So,
right.
You just don't expect it. And, of course, that other scene that left my mouth hanging open was your mom's garbage truck scene. I mean, come on.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was, without giving anything away, that was crazy.
Right,
for sure.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, I know David had some questions, so David, why don't you go ahead and ask him your questions?
Sure. Kevin, what has it been like working with and for Jason Bateman?
Oh, Jason's awesome. I met him when we did the table read, and he was so cool. He reminded me kind of like my acting teacher back in Charlotte. And he's just very down to earth, just a dry sense of humor, really, really smart. And he said something when I met him, because I met him after the table read, because we were all around the table and we were reading the first two episodes. And I didn't get to introduce myself till after. And I was like, hey, my name's Kevin. I'm playing Sam. And he goes, I just got our dog for you. It's a nice little Papillon. And I'm like, oh, the peanut butter. So he's like, I hope you're going to be okay with that. So I was like, yeah.
That's a good one.
But he was great, and of course he directed me in 2 of my episodes, and he directed 4 altogether. And he was a great director.
Yeah, good actor too. I was very happy to see him back on. He hasn't been on a lot of things lately over the years, and maybe more behind the scenes doing stuff. So I'm glad to see him back on screen.
He's so good at he's just incredible in this show. I hope he gets nominated. I hope Laura, I hope Julia, who plays Ruth, who's incredible.
Yeah, she is.
Oh my God, she is riveting.
I hope they get nominated for. I know the Emmys it's too late for the Emmys because it didn't come out in time, but next year for sure, and maybe the Golden Globes in February, I think so.
And why not Kevin?
Hey, if they want to give me
I'd root for you.
I do want to go to the Golden Globes. That'd be awesome. I hope to get to do that. So that'd be fun.
Yeah. David, go ahead.
Okay. We know when. So when the show continues.
Mm-hmm.
How do you envision the character of Sam to evolve?
You're not gonna like this answer, but unfortunately, I can't talk about season 2 because I don't know anything about it yet.
No, he was saying, how do you want him to evolve? If you
How
had
do
the
you
choice
want it?
of like, yeah.
Okay.
But if you can't answer that, that's fine. That's fine. We get that.
Man, I hate to say it. I don't think I can answer it.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's quite all right.
I'll come back on when I can. If you know,
yeah.
maybe
that works.
That would be great.
Oh, my gosh. Well, we're just happy it's going to happen, so that's all right. We'll wait.
Yeah. Fine. You can wait on that. Okay. What television or movie character best resembles Sam?
Ooh, that's a good one. Man. Now I can't think of that off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to pass on it because I don't want to blank for so long because I can't think of it right now. He's just
David
so
always asks the hard questions.
He's so unique. Good one. That's a good one, Dave.
Well, I had one in. Well, I thought of that, and I thought of the answer before I wrote that question. So I figured I was wondering if you had the same one in mind. So.
Oh yeah, let me know. I'm curious.
You know what I thought about when I thought of Norman Bates right off of the top of my head.
Ah, okay, gotcha. That's interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
The quiet one, and then watch out, huh?
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
With the mama, the crazy mama. Oh my gosh! Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
And what was that part where Wendy first comes in, and he says, something. Well, this is Mama's business.
Yeah. Can't upset
and
Mama.
I can't make any changes unless she says it. So I figured, well, if that isn't Norman Bates to me, and that's how I came up with a question for that.
I don't know why I never thought of that. That's an interesting way to look at Sam. I'm going to try to come up, now that you said that, I'm going to see if I can come up with some other people in other shows and movies and see if I can answer that question at some point. So if I kind of jump in like, oh, hey, I got it. That's a little bit.
Well, I just ask that there's no psycho scenes in the shower on the next season of Ozark, please. That's all I ask. There's many people to this day that cannot take a shower with the lights off or the door locked. So, you know.
That's a great, that's a creepy but just great cinematography on that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And to think about when it was made, you know, it's just to this day would freak you out if you just watched it for the first time. So, well, with everything
like
besides
you would expect your mother to come out with that knife.
You what?
I was expecting your mother to come out with a knife during the show.
Well, thankfully she didn't, but
yeah, I know.
Was everything besides the scenes in Chicago filmed at Lake of the Ozarks?
Actually, it was filmed in Georgia.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we had some. I mean, they had some establishing shots that, like, you know, from the sky. I'm sure there's no way that wasn't in the Ozarks, but 90% of the show, if not more, was shot here in Georgia.
Well, that's nice. You didn't even have to leave home.
Nope. I'm a local actor. I think that's one of the reasons I got the part.
Yeah, they knew you'd show up at work every day.
Although I did have I had Pam, our script supervisor. She was like, "Hey," because she thought I was from L.A. And I was like, "No, I'm from Georgia." And she goes, "Oh, well, they lucked out with you because, you know, like, I guess the size of the role, she thought it was out of L.A., which just shows that, I mean, in the Southeast, we're getting bigger roles and getting bigger opportunities. It's awesome."
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that are filmed out of Georgia these days. A lot of TV shows and movies. I mean,
Marvel.
Yeah.
The Marvel shot here just about because we got Pinewood Studios and they've set up shop here. So
a lot of Tyler Perry stuff that I watch, I believe, is shot down there as well.
Oh yeah, pretty much everything from Tyler Perry Studios is also here.
Mhm. Did you ever think to go knock on his door and say, "Hey, dude, give me a role"?
I think right now he'd be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Well, have you seen Ozark?" Oh, damn, yeah, okay. I just have to remind him because I don't look anything. I look a little different in person. I mean, they make my hair a little, quote, nerdy in the show, and I'm clean shaven, and I have more of a disheveled kind of hairstyle and a little scruff, which is weird because you know the like the pictures. You see my picture, you know, on the on my sign in the show. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
And I look more like that in real life. Like that was a picture because they needed a picture, right? Hey, can you send us a picture of you the way you look right now? So I sent him a picture, and that was so it's more of kind of like a dressed down Sam before he decided to shave and comb his hair over, I guess.
Well, you would think that they would go with exactly how you're going to look sometimes. I guess not, because, you know, maybe because you do different roles, like this isn't your first part, let's put it that way, you know. So you want to pretty much use a picture of how you look normally most of the time, like how you would audition or something like that.
Yeah, I like the fact that they used one of, like, me with, you know, a little facial hair and hair's a little, you know, disheveled the way I wear it and, you know, normally. I thought that was kind of cool, a little different. So maybe if I do come back in season 2, I can't say anything, obviously, but if I do, who knows? Maybe Sam will have a little scruff or something.
Well, if you're listening out there, Ozark people, Kevin needs to come back. Knock, 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 knock. Do you hear me? Yeah, you definitely. Your role is not over. That's all there is to it. So I'm not going to believe you're not coming back. I think Kevin still has a lot more to do in the series. You weren't one of the wackos killed off, and you know you still got things to do. So that's all I'm going to say.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I think Sam's pretty busy.
Yeah. Now it's beautiful there in Georgia, and I have to say that I'm hoping the people are not like the people portrayed in the movie. Or in the series. I had been to Georgia one time to Atlanta many years ago, but it was just like a stop through, so I didn't really get to spend time there. But it looks like a very beautiful place.
Oh yeah, it's great, and it's getting bigger, you know, by the year, especially because of the film industry.
Yeah. Now, one thing I could say is about Ozark is about the Byrd family is how can so many bad things keep happening to one family? You have to wonder. You know, it was like he said that one yes, and then things just went from there. Yeah. So I don't see it getting better until, maybe the series is over?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think this is news. This is I think our Chris Mundy, one of our creators, said in a interview a little while back that the writers have stuff for 6 or 7 seasons, and Laura,
great.
Yeah, so Laura is up for doing it for 6 or 7 seasons. She said in an interview, so she's excited about coming back, and because I texted her today and congratulated her on the show coming back. She was like, "Yay!" So yeah, it's really cool to see somebody seasoned like her who's excited, because she could easily, be like, well, you never know. But she's awesome to work with too, and most of my stuff is with her. So we've kind of struck up a friendship, which is really nice, and she's super sweet.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially when you're on a TV series like that, you hear it all the time that you guys become family, like family. So that's not surprising that you guys have a friendship going now.
Yeah, I went to go see her in New York when she was on Broadway doing boxes, and I went to go see her in that, and she was incredible, and brought her some flowers, went backstage and chatted with her, and yeah, she was super excited about the show, which made me excited.
That's wonderful. Well, if you see her again, tell her I said congratulations. Well, David and I both.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, you have some upcoming projects, and not sure how much you can say about them, but is there anything that you can tell us about them and about your characters? One of them that really struck me was American Made with Tom Cruise. It sounds so great.
Yeah, it's based on a true story. It's about Barry Seal, and takes place in the 80s, and he goes undercover for the CIA as a drug runner, and the trailer looks really cool. I think it's kind of a dramedy. At least the trailer makes it out like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting something like that, and I'm excited about it. And I got to work with Tom for a couple days, and because my scene is with him, so I play an IRS.
Well, it's so funny that yesterday I was listening to somebody on a live streaming app, and they were talking about people's favorite television shows and movies and stuff like that from, when they were younger. And the live streamer actually said, I wonder what happened, because they were talking about Tom Cruise movies. They're like, I wonder what happened. I wonder if he's going to do any acting. And I thought, I know the answer to this one. So that's when I told him, privately that I was going to be speaking with you and that you're going to be in the movie with him. And I showed him your picture because he says, well, that name sounds familiar, because he's an actor and a singer and piano player and everything. So I showed him your picture, and he says, oh, he's cute. So you have a fan.
That's always nice.
So I definitely told him to watch Ozark, too, and your upcoming movies. So there's several more, too. There's a couple more that you're making.
Mm-hmm. I got there's one called Jacob's Ladder, which is based. It's a remake of the movie back in the '90s with Tim Robbins, and this one stars Michael Ealy, and let's see, it's about he comes back from the Afghan War, and there's and he's having all these hallucinations. So that's just like a psychological thriller.
Yeah. And American Animals?
American Animals is going to be really cool. I'm excited for that to come out. I think that's going to be a really different type of movie. Because Bart Layton, who directed it, did this documentary called Imposters, which I haven't seen yet. I want to see it. I hear it's really good. But this is his first narrative, and he's going to mix documentary with it. So that's going to be really cool. My stuff was with Evan Peters, who everybody knows from American Horror Story, and he's really blowing up, he's been blowing up because of American Horror Story, but he's in this, and he's really good. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. Those two don't have a release date yet. They're still working on this, getting the distributor.
Yeah.
I would think
it takes a long time to do that sometimes. So.
Yeah, but I did Jacob's Ladder back. When did I do that? Early last year. So sometimes it takes 2+ years for something to, for like a smaller budget film to come out. So.
Right. Exactly. And what about Swimming with Dolphins?
Oh wow! You're looking at my IMDb page. Okay.
I sure am.
I've been attached to that for quite some time. It's a local. When I was living in Charlotte, I knew I was friends with people who Michael Melendez is the one who wrote it, and he's directing it, I think, or he wrote it, he's starring in it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping we get it done. They got to get the financing for it, but that would be that'd be a good role to play to get the financing for it.
It always comes down to money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
so
too bad that you couldn't just make movies and just put them out there, because you get so excited about certain movies that you're in, or even TV series, because TV series have to be sold to some network, before they can air as well.
Oh yeah, there's so many pilots that people shoot, and everybody's excited about it being their big break, and then nothing happens,
Mhm. Yeah.
That's the beauty
how do you take, not getting a role? Was it hard at first, or is that something you just expected?
It's still hard, to be honest with you. I'm better at it, because rejection's, part of the job.
Mhm.
What did Mark Ruffalo, I think, said in an interview one time that he had to audition 600 times before he got a yes, I think he said. So that right there tells you it takes time. You got to be patient. And I've got a lot of friends who are in the business, and they're really talented, and they haven't had anything happen yet. So yeah, you just got to stay patient. And it's tough when a role comes along that you really, really want and you don't hear anything about. So, like him in Ozark, I really, really wanted that role. So, as weeks went by and I didn't hear anything, I was, I got disappointed. I'm not going to lie to you. So it was really, really exciting when I found out that they decided to go with me. So that was good.
Yeah, you really didn't expect it at that point, so it had to be pretty much overwhelming. Like what you said, you almost pulled over because, getting that phone call. So I'm sure if you pulled over, you would have gotten off the phone and jumped up and down and screamed.
I was on 285, so heading to Charlotte. I don't know how people driving would have felt about it. Like, what is he doing on
That would have been good. So I have one last question for you, and it would be, what would Kevin now tell 16-year-old Kevin? What advice would you give him?
Stay passionate, man. Because, yeah, as long as you believe in yourself and keep on the right track and don't listen to the naysayers. Because there's going to be people out there that are going to say that you can't do this, you can't do that. You just stick with it, and good things are going to happen.
Excellent advice. And that's for any job, for anything that you're doing in life.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know, yeah, it works. And that's what you try to instill in your children in that, you know, as they're growing up. I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this. You know, I had that with my kids. And, you know, I used to tell them you can be anything you want to be as long as if that's what you're really striving to be, you have to work hard at it, too. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter.
Oh, you absolutely can. I mean, I remember in college, I knew that this was what I wanted to do, and I believed that I would get to this point. And even though there were some people out there that, you know, didn't think it was going to happen, I always believed it was going to happen. And, you know. And
that's one of the most important things. You have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get other people to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself and
exactly.
your abilities.
First.
Yep.
Well, we want to thank you, Kevin, for joining us tonight. It was fantastic speaking with you, and to bring us such wonderful news about Ozark. I'm blown away, and I can't be any happier about it.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on. And I'm excited y'all are digging the show, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and you're definitely welcome back anytime, even if it's to update us on Ozark or your new movies or whatever, because, dude, you're going places.
Well, thank you very much.
You are.
I'll definitely keep y'all posted on everything.
Thank you. Thank you. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, how about that, David?
What a nice man.
Ozark is coming back. And we know Kevin's got to be on there. Come on. Like I said, Sam has a lot left in that role. A lot left. I could just picture it in my head.
Yeah, he tweeted that out today. He tweeted that out earlier today.
I hadn't been on social media today, so I was busy throughout the day and actually, just got on right before, we started talking to Kevin. So you already saw that, huh?
He couldn't say beyond that. He didn't want.
Right.
People were responding, we're so glad you're coming back, and he says, I'm sorry to confuse you. I said the show. He wanted to clarify that the show was coming back. He wasn't sure if he was.
Well,
because he hadn't had that. He wasn't given the go. Hey,
yeah.
He told us.
Yeah. He's going to be back. I feel it in my bones. And my old bones are usually right.
We'll send him a dog and peanut butter for a gift if he.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, I laughed so hard. I mean, like I said, she's in the middle of a rant, and saying all these things to him. And again, I don't want to say too much about what the series is, each part, what's going on, because I want people to watch it. But that was very unexpected. So that I just was laughing.
For those of you who haven't seen it yet, please tune in on Netflix. I don't want to give anything away either, but I was crying and very surprised.
Leave it to David to be crying.
Yeah, look, that one part with Mason and the baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought? What he was going to do? And I cried right after it because he didn't do what I think he was planning.
Yeah.
And that's,
yeah. Well, you know what? That's where my mouth dropped open, too. And I think, actually, to tell you the truth, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I got teary-eyed, too, after the shock wore off. So, yeah. Yeah, I think so, too.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes. I said, oh, no, he isn't.
And he didn't.
No, I'm not. Oh, it's so hard to talk about without giving things away. But I'm not sure that his intent was what we thought it was. I think his intent was to see if God was listening and was going to show him the way.
Mhm.
You know, so.
Because he's
we gotta quit talking. We gotta quit talking about it because there's so much I want to say, and I can't.
No.
We need people to watch it. So, Netflix. It just debuted on July 21st. 10 episodes, season 1. Go watch it. You're gonna love Kevin in this series, as well as Laura Linney and Jason Bateman and all the other actors. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention is I've never seen that girl that played Ruth before, and I was so impressed with her that while watching the series, I pulled up her IMDb to see who she was.
Yeah, and
she's amazing. She is amazing.
She is. I mean, she was riveting.
Yeah. And she's another one that's kind of mysterious. You think you know who she is and what she's thinking, but then again, she'll do something else that'll change your mind and think that she's actually working in a different direction. And then she'll do something else that'll make you think she's going in another direction, back to the same direction, if you know what I mean, because you watched it, so you know what I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see, you know, where her part goes from this point on, too. You know, because, I can't say. People watch it. The girl that plays Ruth, her name is Julia Garner. And I looked her up on IMDb, and she's been in other things that I haven't watched, so maybe that's why she's so new to me. But she's not a brand new actress. Let's put it that way. So
she's been in the business. Huh? I take it.
Yeah. Definitely, and it's like Kevin. You know, you've seen him probably in other things. Like one of the things he did was One Tree Hill, and you know you've seen him in that, but they're smaller roles. And until you get a major role like he did in Ozark, then you're like, oh, I've seen that guy before. Where did I see him? And that's when you go look him up, and you find out, oh yeah, I watched him in this, I watched him in that. You know, and he's really a great actor. So when I said he's going places, I believe that. I mean, come on. He's just, you know, that's all people need is that one big break to get them going.
That's all they need.
So, okay, we're going to wrap it up here. We hope you enjoyed our interview with Kevin L. Johnson. You can find him on Twitter at Kevin_L_Johnson. Give him a follow and give him a shout-out and let him know what you thought about his role in Ozark or any other thing that you've watched him in. And, you know, stay tuned to Take Two Radio for our next interview, which is not set up right now because we've kind of been on a hiatus and you know, coming back a little bit here and there. So I've got a lot of things going on in my personal life. It makes it a little bit harder to do these shows. But, we don't just do these types of interviews. Be sure to tune in on the second and fourth Wednesday of the month for our show, Have You Heard, which is the latest in soap news, with David and Michael and Belinda. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. On Thursdays, we have Take Two Radio Soaps and Review, where they discuss the last 2 weeks of the 4 soaps that are out there. And that's with David and Casey and Belinda and Liz and Carolyn. And on Fridays, we have Big Brother 19 recap and discussions at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's with Belinda, Brandon, and Renee. And we're working on some other stuff. And then on the second and fourth Saturday of the month, we have Jim Mallard, and he does interviews with a lot of different types of people, mainly in the paranormal. So if you're interested in that type of thing, he's really good to listen to his shows as well, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I think I pretty much covered it, right? Am I forgetting anything? No, those are our stables right now. Those are our regular shows. So
yeah, those are our mainstays.
Yeah, so you can look at our schedule, upcoming shows, interviews, previous interviews. There's a ton of them in there since we started November 2012 with actors, writers, directors, and so on take2radio.com, and that's with the number 2. And you can listen through take2radio.com, or you can listen on Blog Talk Radio, or you can listen on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple TV, so on and so forth. Pretty much everywhere that plays the podcast, like a replay kind of thing. So you can just put in Take Two Radio and find it. And it's free to listen to it on all of those apps. So thank you, David, for joining me tonight. It was a lot of fun being back with you again, just me and you. And
yes,
speaking with Kevin. So take care, everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe, and God bless each and every one of you.
Good night, everybody.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit take2radio.com.